serve to make him more.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Shia LaBeouf is arguably.
Okay, what's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Here I am with another. This is gonna be my thoughts on a celebrity. This is gonna be my thoughts about Shia LaBeouf. It's gonna be called The Tragic Life of Shia LaBeouf. So, so this is what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be giving out my thoughts on his life was. That being said, this is an audio stream, so I'm gonna be, listening in and pretty soon I'll give my thoughts at the end. So, listen this.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Shia LaBeouf is arguably among the most interesting yet flawed entertainers in the business. But no matter how egregious or headline-grabbing his missteps may be, they only serve to make him more human, and therefore more alluring. Let's be honest, no one likes the picture-perfect, corporate idealized actors and entertainers. They're boring. We like the humans, the people who struggle in everyday life and who fight for their art and acclaim. They remind us of us, and few actors working today have fought as hard. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're exploring the tragic life of Shia LaBeouf. Shia was born into turmoil on June 11th, 1986. His mother, Shayna LaBeouf, was a visual artist and designer, and his father, Jeffrey, after returning from Vietnam, held down numerous jobs, both legitimate and morally questionable, reportedly selling drugs to the Hawaiian mafia. His parents also started a fashion company that failed to generate profit. As such, Shia grew up in poverty and has since referred to his upbringing as a hippie lifestyle. But being poor wasn't the only obstacle that young Shia had to contend with. In fact, that may have been the most straightforward and normal of them all.
See, this is what happened. My father screwed me at a young age. When I was like 13. No.
You know something? That right there is like struggle in this one. You got parents that have different different jobs, what their lifestyle is, and you're being raised, and then when you're growing up, and you obviously understand what they do and how they achieve this. Hey, you're young and you learn stuff. So yeah, Shia LaBeouf, he was young and he lived a you know childhood life, but he was young though. So yeah.
Not like that, Conan.
Unfortunately, the Vietnam War placed an enormous strain on his father's mental health, and Shia was often the target of his demons. Jeffrey Craig LaBeouf was an alcoholic, and young Shia was said to accompany his father to various Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. Jeffrey was a regular user of heroin, and at one point was placed into rehab to help quell his addiction. To make matters worse, the elder LaBeouf also had a criminal record for attempted rape, as he once pled no contest to the assault of a 29-year-old woman while blackout drunk and high on cocaine. His internal demons also manifested in the form of abuse, and young Shia has said that he was regularly subjected to both physical and mental abuse at the hands of his father. His father admits that when Shia was a baby, he would pick him up by his foot and hold him upside down to stop him from crying. In one particularly troubling and disturbing instance, Jeffrey was suffering from a Vietnam flashback and pointed a gun at young Shia.
Your dad really didn't behave like a father at all.
Yeah, he was my dude. He was like a buddy.
Yeah, but not in a group. Well,
Not the best.
not in a good way. Yeah,
Like a buddy.
In Shia's own words, as told to the Los Angeles Times, quote, "He got lost in the drugs of it all. He didn't know when the party was over. He didn't know how to be a father at the time." His parents' dour financial situation eventually drove them apart, with his mother blaming his father for the failed fashion company. They eventually divorced, and Shia went to live with his mother in Echo Park. During this time, Shayna LaBeouf was making a living selling fabrics and brooches, but it wasn't enough to sustain her and her child, and the family fell deeper into poverty.
And the only child, it was just me and her. So, she was mom and dad. We've had it all.
At one point, Shia's uncle was thinking of adopting him because his parents couldn't afford to provide for him. The need for money pushed Shia into performance art. Shia told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "Having money meant having a family. The more money I had, the more I could have my family around." He began doing stand-up in clubs when he was just 10 years old, but he finally found creative and, more importantly, financial success on Even Stevens. What's that?
This poor soul's journey has come to an end. From dust we started, to dust we return. Every corpse tells a story. It is our task to listen.
So these are all stories about how people die.
Some tales even I find unsaid to recount.
She's dead. You gotta get that body out of your apartment.
Keep your doors locked tonight. Keep an eye out for crazies.
Monster!
Here's about that. The show premiered on June 17th, 2000, just 6 days after Chaya's 14th birthday. While this did lead to a better financial situation, it didn't heal the rift between father and son. In fact, their relationship got worse in many ways. Jeffrey soon grew resentful of Shia, not only because of the success he'd found, but because of the shame he felt as a result of being supported by his teenage son.
When you're broke, all that matters is money. And then when you get a little bit of money, you get some perspective. But you can't have no perspective till you have money. You can't say money don't mean nothing if you ain't got none.
As Jeffrey puts it, quote, "You can't imagine how it feels to be paid by your son." It was a contention there.
You know, that's something everybody goes to. Everybody thinks money is everything, but Shia LaBeouf, him and his father didn't have a good relationship for what he said and what he recalled. For what I know, Shia LaBeouf has always been, the type of guy that's always been, like down. It's like he's always seemed like down when he's been doing roles, type of roles he's been at. But I know him, but I've seen most of the videos or for what I'm watching now. And him and his father didn't have a good relationship. But at the end of the day, like, money doesn't change everything. It changes you. When you really start to become greedy with money and that greed and whatever you think, and you think that it's everything, then what are you doing in life? Money ain't everything. Money ain't everything. Like, you can be broke, you can be homeless without money. There's a lot of homeless people that ain't got money. There's a lot of homeless people that try to get help and try to get something, but people just pass aside and just move on. You know how it is. And being in Hollywood, all that fame, all that money, what does that lead to? Popularity. Then when popularity starts to, really, really crumble, that right there is when, it's disaster. Right? That right there is like, you're already starting to fall. But that's what happens, man. Like, you grow up and you start to get into a business, and who you is, then hey, you're more successful. The Shia LaBeouf, he's a great. I like Shia LaBeouf. He's actually one of my favorite actors. I like him in movies like Transformers, Disrupt. What's that other movie called? He was running because there was a computer chick that was one that wanted to kill him. This other woman, I forgot what that movie was. I forget what that movie was, but yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, and he looks like a lumberjack now. He looks like a lumberjack. He looks like a collar, like a tired like a retired, like a college kid that just, grew out his hair and he looks so different. But yeah, either way, Shia LaBeouf is doing great to becoming who he is. So, yeah.
There between he and I as long as I was on the set. Shia made Jeffrey feel like a failure. But this newfound fame wasn't easy on Shia either. He knew that everything would fall apart again if he failed, which naturally placed an enormous burden and an incredible amount of stress on the young actor.
I don't know. It's tough. It's like I seem to be safer in my life when I'm working, and it just makes everything better. You know what I mean?
Not only was Shia forced to
That's every young actor out there. Like when I watch TV, when I see young actors that do their job, I can see them. They're already struggling. They're already starting to fall and crumble. Because think about this: how many actors, like for example, iCarly, the new iCarly, Jeanette McCurdy, she's not on there no more. Noah Monk, freaking. Yeah, Noah Monk is not on there no more. But you got Miranda Costco, Nathan Kress, got Jerry Train. You got these new people. Like I don't even know who they are. That's the thing about about young actors growing up and getting up rising because they don't know how corrupted the acting business is. Like if you look at every actor now, you can see what their lifestyle of what they living on and how they are acting and why they're doing this. Because they sell their souls. Like for example, you think every movie gets best picture. Like for example, like I will say this 42 to Jackie Robinson story. It should have been best picture because Jackie Robinson is the only African American player that's broken the color barrier for both basketball and baseball. So yes. So that's what I'm saying.
for his family, but he was being guilt-tripped and pressured into avoiding failure. Luckily, even Stevens was a success, and it led to more prosperous acting opportunities. So you're really gonna stick this out?
Well, yeah. I mean, I came this far.
That's pretty cool, Lewis.
Besides, I really think I got the hang of it now.
Shia was suddenly starring in movies like Holes, I, Robot, and Constantine.
Not bad. You hear that?
Then, in 2007, he led the first Transformers movie in the role of Sam Witwicky. Shia avoided failure and found success, not to mention millions of dollars.
Sure. Just ask yourself, what would Jesus do?
Unfortunately, wealth and fame did not translate into happiness.
But, what happened?
Man, I went through like an existential crisis, which turned into some kind of like exploration. I had some hiccups, some judgment error.
The stress of financially supporting his family, finding the next big role, and constantly avoiding downtime for fear of failure took a major toll on his mental health. Like his father before him, Shia sought solace in a bottle. By 2014, he was in the throes of alcoholism. On June 26, 2014, Shia was arrested for disorderly conduct after causing trouble at New York Studio 54.
That 27-year-old kid was allegedly drunk and disruptive during the show Cabaret, right during the first act. Apparently, he was allegedly slapping and spitting on the audience. The eyewitnesses say the guy was out of control.
Following this, Shia voluntarily entered a 12-step program to treat his...
He was going through alcohol abuse. He was going through depression. He already knew that the movie business was destroying him, was making him feel lost with himself. Like, for example, when you're signed to a company, you selling your soul, man. I'm thinking, hey, Shia LaBeouf, he was just going through stuff. He was going through like alcohol, like he wasn't really himself because he already knew that the more that he worked, the more popularity he got. He already knew it wasn't working out with him. He already knew that. He already knew that. Hey, it was starting to really bug him, and quite frankly, Shia LaBeouf was just not himself, and I don't blame him. Sometimes when you're in a corruptive like organization, what do you think was gonna happen? Like you losing yourself, you're losing your mind, and you said, "Hey, you're going rogue. You're about to have like a serious allegations." And yes, because he went against them. Shia Love probably told the truth, and he already knew that it was already coming towards him. He already knew that because once you go against somebody, oh, they're gonna try to take you down. That's why he acted the way he acted. Because he already knew that he went against them and figured that they literally tried to destroy him. So hey, Shia LaBeouf, what he was going through, man. That's the reason why I barely even see Shia LaBeouf in movies now. I barely see him in movies now. So either way, continue on.
Alcoholism. Unfortunately, this particular incident couldn't have come at a worse time. In December 2013, Shia was accused of plagiarizing Dan Clow's comic Justin M. Damiano in his short film HowardCanfor.com, which eventually resulted in his infamous I Am Not Famous Anymore red carpet appearance. It was also around this time that Shia began creating performance art. The plagiarism accusations, bizarre red carpet appearance, and foray into wacky performance art all made for a messy combination, and many people were quick to judge Shia, laugh at his eccentric behavior, and or go so far as to write him off. As such, when he was arrested in June for disorderly conduct, it was dismissed as just another peculiar and foolish action from an idiosyncratic celebrity. Some people must have recognized that he was a young man in need of help. The tabloids love a good fall from grace.
Because him and his father wasn't getting along. I mean, like he like like dad that like a bad relationship with your father leading to disruptive behavior, like going into like drinking mode, alcohol abuse, depression, and quite frankly, man, like hey, Shia LaBeouf was just going through stuff, man. He was going through so much stuff, especially at a young age. Man, it's just like and once he put that bag on his ass, that I'm not famous anymore. And hey, people already were starting to really attack him and bringing him down. That's the thing. That's why celebrities don't really see it. Like for example, like I barely even see Wesley Snipes. Patrick Swayze is gone. Uh, you got what's the dude's name? Who else? Who else? Patrick Swayze's gone. Like a lot of actors. There's a lot of great. Robin Williams is gone. Robin Williams, rest in peace to him. It's a lot of actors that are passing away, man. Young actors too. I'll probably get into that on the next video, but yeah, young actors dying. And it's a good thing Shia LaBeouf is doing great now. I mean, he was just going through so much stuff though. So yeah, so he went into rehab, checked into rehab, started going to programs, finding himself, and that's great. That's good. That's why hey, Shia LaBeouf is you know living his life, trying to do better with himself, and get well. So yeah. So hopefully he's doing all right and getting better with his life.
Story, and Shia was seen as just another child star gone bad by the public.
You said before earlier in the conversation that I don't know how facetious you were being, that you needed friends.
Yes.
Well, what are you talking
Nothing facetious about that.
Why?
We all do.
Did
So
people
do you.
abandon you? Did like?
No, I don't even think it's about quality of friends. I think it's about quantity.
Things eventually culminated in Shia being arrested in Savannah, Georgia, for public drunkenness and disorderly conduct in July of 2017.
I have rights. I have rights. I'm an American. You got me in my hotel, arrested me in my hotel for doing what, sir?
The arresting officer was wearing a body cam, and Shia's profanity-laced tirade made its way onto the internet. Shia was ordered into court-appointed therapy. With professional help from psychologists, Shia was seemingly finally able to get to the root of his alcoholism and mental troubles. He wasn't just a stressed-out child star. He was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Shia's upbringing was so relentlessly stressful and taxing that it eventually gave him PTSD. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, Shia stated, quote, "It was the first time I'd been told I had PTSD. I just thought I was an alcoholic."
PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. In case you want to know what it is when you go through a traumatic experience and it's affecting you so much, then you know that, hey, that you got PTSD. That's PTSD right there. Everybody has PTSD. Like, for example, military soldiers, navies, marines, retired veterans, retired marines, freaking retired army vets. A lot of them. So hey, so a lot of everybody goes through post-traumatic stress disorder. So yeah. So Shia LaBeouf, man, he was just suffering. He was just suffering. And he needed help. He needed help. That's what I feel. That's I don't look at Shia as an actor. I look at him as a human being who's going through stuff, who's suffering. And he realized, and fame and fortune is not going to make that person better. You can have all the fame, you can enjoy all the fame all you want to, but once that fame is like gone, you ain't famous no more. That's the thing people don't understand. You think celebrities, you think they're called celebrities for a reason. They're still human beings. All that money and greed they get from signing themselves into the organizations because they make the money. You just get paid to shut up and go along with the program, right? Just like in sports, every athlete, what they call sports athletes, they go through stuff too. That's why you don't see them on the courts. And I watch them every damn second. And I look at them. It's like I can see why. Like they say that this is just a waste. Like most former players, like legends, but they're going on ESPN trying to get like views again, trying to be pop. Like, nah, man. Like you've already played ball. Like, what are you doing? Still trying to be famous? Like you've already played. Like you don't need to be going up and trying to like prove yourself again. Like you've already. Everybody knows who you is. Everybody knows who Terrell Owens is. Everybody knows who Randy Moss is. Everybody knows who Donovan McNabb is. Everybody knows who Warren Sapp is. Everybody knows who Dante Chopper knows. Everybody knows who Orlando Pace is. Everybody knows who Sterling Sharp is. Everybody knows who Michael Vick is. Everybody knows who Brian Urschlager is. Like everybody knows who they are. Like why do they still need to go on TV? And it's like they call these retired legends, tell them what they think. It's like, why you still got to be calling them? They already are well known. They're doing things out of TV. Like they don't need to go up and prove themselves again. So with Shia, I just feel like he was just a was just a kid that was just messed up. He was just losing himself. Hey, once he started to really start to feel that suffering was starting to really affect him, that right there is why he started, crumbling. That's why he checked himself into rehabs, programs, and trying to get his life back together. And yeah. So let's move on. Keep going.
I knew it was an issue, but didn't know there was this whole extra other thing that was hindering my ability to have any peace in my life. While in therapy, Shia wrote a screenplay as a form of self-expression and rehabilitation. The result was Honey Boy, a critically acclaimed drama inspired by Shia's own tragic upbringing, his meteoric rise to fame, and his problematic relationship with his father, whom Shia portrays.
That's why I'm here. I'm your cheerleader, honey boy. You trust me?
Shia now seems to be on the upswing.
That's that. That's right. That right there is what you call genius artwork. He wrote like a screenplay. He did like a movie called Honey Boy, which pretty much portrays as father himself. What I saw right there, that right there, Shia was playing his father. And yeah, Shia pretty much was like not having a good connection with his father. But hey, everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through that. Not everybody is close with their moms or their fathers. That's why when you see them, how the way they are, that right there tells us everything. That's why I figured that the people now, this generation now, don't got no mothers or fathers in their lives. They probably met their fathers or their mothers, but they look at them as deadbeats. So hey, now all they gotta do is like look after themselves, learn how to get money, learn how to survive. So, yeah, it happens. It happens. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, keep going.
Although he once again faced a personal obstacle in September 2018 when he separated from his partner Mia Goth. Thankfully, his relationship with his parents seems better than ever, despite how personal his screenplay got. Shia admits that they found Honey Boy difficult to watch, but claims that they also expressed being proud of his bravery and what he had personally accomplished with the movie.
Just a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Arc Knights. The latest free update adds a new side story, Grani and the Knight's Treasure. It's a great event for all beginner players to obtain tons of in-game resources and develop themselves to the next level. So check out Arc Knights today.
Jeffrey Labeouf, for his part, is about 15 years sober and clearly incredibly proud of his son. He calls Shia, quote, the light in his life and, quote, the sweetest, kindest soul. He also...
Hey, that right there is father's words. Ever since then, him and his father have gotten along. And hey, a man like him, being proud of his son, becoming the man that he is, becoming the person that he is. Hey, those are words of a proud dad right there. Even though their connection wasn't that good when he was growing up, but until then, he already evolved and evaporated himself, turned his life around, and hey, he's living the greatest life of his, like I can't say career, but I will say just his life. He's doing that. They were going the best of his life. He's got his actor. He went into programs. He did screenplays. He wrote like a little bit of novels. Yeah, did all of that. So, yeah, and the Shia LaBeouf is exactly who he is. He's still learning who he is. So yeah.
States quite truthfully that Shia is now, quote, stepping into some amazing shit. We can't wait to see what Shia has in store, but one thing's for sure, it will be with a newfound sense of happiness, of contentment, and of peace. Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
There you have it, man. Tragic life of Shia LaBeouf. Yeah. Shia LaBeouf, man. Props to him. Props to him. That's why Shia LaBeouf is one of my actors. He is one of my actors. Hey, Shia LaBeouf. Hope he's, doing what he doing what he loves doing, and hopefully he's doing a better job. I can't say better job. Hopefully he's doing a great job with himself, because hey, at the end, he doesn't need to be on TV, be on movies a lot, and just go out and get told to play this. He can just make his own stuff, use his mind of creativity, and he can do it in his style. So yeah, but hey, man, see what he was going through, man. It was just sad, man. Sad to see. That's what everybody goes through. Every celebrity and athlete goes through. You may see them in movie, you may think of them with all the fame and all the money and all that, being Grammy nominated or Academy Award nominated or Academy Award winner, Golden or Golden Globe winner, but deep down you don't even know what they've been going through unless you learn about them, unless you do your history or do your research on why this person did this, did that. So hey, Shia LaBeouf, man. That man, he turned his life around. He turned his life around. Even though his parents were like doing drugs and selling drugs. But hey, it was just hard for him, man. Being arrested, being like charged with drunk and disorderly, being handcuffed. That was rough for him. Yeah. So yeah, man. And he's doing hopefully he's doing the best that he loves doing. His dreams are still true. Shia LaBeouf, he's still alive. He's just reborn though. So yeah. So yeah, man. This is Shia LaBeouf. You heard it. So now, hey, this is his life. This was his real life, his story, and his parents and his father and everything. So yeah, now you know. So I'm sign off from this now and check out tune up with this later.